All right, now I'll take you through the creation of a foggy scene. So we have these references for a foggy scenario. So I'm just going to create two because foggy scenes are quite tricky, and creating this and this is actually quite different methods, but they are not so different at the same time. So let's begin. So if we're starting with this, the first thing we're going to first create an overcast, then we're going to fog it up. All right. So let's create an overcast. So we just increase this and we're almost there. And the next thing we're just gonna increase the mirror absorption. So just make it slightly darker. It's not so much, just slightly. And then we're going to go down to the exponential height fog and switch on volumetric fog. All right. And the volumetric fog, we're gonna increase the extinction scale, all right, slightly. All right. And then we're just going to add an albedo color to the exponential, the volumetric fog, sorry. So we're just gonna tint it a little bit, right, to kind of feel something like this, right? I just increase the brightness a bit, right? So yeah, that is how you create a foggy scene. So it's very simple. Just in the sky atmosphere, just increase your mirror scattering scale, and then in the exponential height fog, just switch on your volumetric fog and play with the values here, and you're going to get something similar to this. If you feel like the foreground is too dark, you can go to your post-process volume, and in your local exposure, in your shadow contrast scale, just increase this slightly, and you're going to increase the brightness of your foreground. Okay, so hope that helped, and that's how you create an overcast in the bright overcast. For the dark overcast, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your sky atmosphere, and in your mirror scale, just increase this mirror absorption scale. Right, it's going to give you a more darker tone. And for your exponential height fog, you are going to just tone this back down, right? Just leave it at white because, sorry, at blue, because we have blue in the scene. We're going to make it blue. And what we're going to do is that we're going to try and add some heavy fog into our scene. But then we're going to change when it starts, the start distance. We're going to increase the start distance here. Maybe change that color a bit. Maybe we'll make it some more blue. Okay. And then for this one, we're going to go to the sky atmosphere ambient contribution color. And then we're just going to add a bit of blue in there. All right. So we're going to add a bit of blue in there. And then we're just going to increase the fog a bit more. We can add a secondary fog in there if we feel like it's not enough. And then the height fall off, we can play with that as well. All right. If we still feel that it's still feeling a bit bright, we can play with the extinction scale, increase that, and also play with the start distance so it starts a bit further back, if that's what we need. If it feels like the fade is too sharp, we can just blend it a bit. Just blend it with this and just play with it. And yeah, we can just also go back to the mirror in the sky atmosphere. Where is it? And height fog contribution and aero perspective. You can just play with these values if you feel like you want to play with something in the back as well. All right. Just reduce this as well so we can get something similar. All right, that looks good. Just increase the mirror scattering scale a little bit more and the mirror absorption, so something like this. All right, so we have the same kind of dark tones here. We have this color here in the foreground here. If we feel we still need to thicken up that fog a lot, extinction scale can be increased. right? View distance scale can also be played with, and we can also bump the fog here. If it stops here, we can also increase it manually to 7, and if we still need more, we can bump it up here with this one, but I don't think we need that much, right? So I think this is fine, right? So I think we have something similar. Let's just try and match the colors a bit. So we can add more color there. And also in the albedo, we can add some more color here as well. So we can get something similar in the color and tone. All right. All right. All right. So that's how we would create a dark, foggy kind of scene. I think it looks really similar. Like I said, if the foreground still is too dark, you can always go back to the post-process volume. And in the shadow contrast scale, you can always increase the foreground in the contrast of the shadows in the foreground, all right, so that it kind of looks similar. So that's how you would create a dark foggy scene. Okay, so hope this helps. Talk to you later.